I'm gonna go swimming.
Yeah.
You guys,
Well, the best part is that I was sitting here and there's sweat dripping and I'm covered in dust. I'm like coughing or whatever, and I see him float by on this little floaty going by, like blowing water out of his mouth, like waving at us. I'm like, yeah, that's.
Thanks for doing this, man.
I'm kidding. Thank you.
By the way, you didn't. Basically, what we were going for is as simple and straightforward as possible, right? Like in the sense that I want it to be something where when you walk in, like I want to record drums, and there is a button, drums, and
That's exactly what I need. Sold.
right,
Record. Drum. That may be as far as I get.
totally.
This is fancy. Look at these overheads. Are very shiny.
Those are new. We haven't released them yet. We haven't released them yet, right? Are they coming out?
These haven't come out quite yet.
So explain what we're looking at.
Sure.
If you would.
Yeah, so we make recreation mics. So these are based on classic U87 style mics.
Yep.
These are our new titanium edition. That's what you noticed. They were shiny. They look cool. It's based on like a German KM84 style mic. If you're familiar with that, we've got C414s style. So
Is that like a Sennheiser 421 type or no?
No, so this is actually it's a condenser, and it's Freddie Mercury actually used it on his vocals back in the day, but they've been known to work great on toms, and so, dude, they're amazing on guitar amps. We got you a couple extra over there too.
Awesome.
You can put on guitar amps and things.
Okay. Oh wow. Great.
And then we got a FET 47 style mic on the kick, which I'm sure you've seen that style of
Yes, I have.
mic before, of course.
Yeah.
And then we've got, we call it the Beatles mic, because this is like the D19 that they used on vocals a lot.
And so that snake goes into all the way around and plugs into
this control.
this contraption.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
You know, now with technology, as you guys well know, it's like, and I've done it lots of times, people, hey, can you play drums on this? Or my friends or whoever, and send me the files and let's go. And people, and this would be a great thing to do. This sounds to me, it's a like, you know, sometimes you go and you play and then you go listen back, you're like, oh God, that sounds nothing like what like in the room. And like good engineers will come out and listen to you and they go, okay, and they'll go and try to, if that's what you're going for, to replicate that. So this sounds like, first of all, it sounds like a drum set,
right?
Which is great. Instead of like, oh, there's the kick and there's the snare, and it's like,
I'll separate it out.
Yeah, it sounds like a kit for rock and roll, and it sounds natural. It sounds like the drums,
right?
Which is like a great start. So is there any of that stuff that's blinking? Is there any compressors involved or anything that does that sort of thing or no?
Yes.
That's
so there are 2 compressors that I'm running right now.
Do you have any Pultecs?
Not here.
I walk into the session with, do you have any Pultecs? Like, I think I know what I'm like, oh yeah, we got, oh, okay, good, we can record.
Good, yeah.
The only outboard gear I know.
That's amazing. You have to compress some stuff on drums to get them to sound right. The way that you mix your drums, you don't want to ruin that by over compressing something and getting rid of the dynamics of your playing, right? And there's always room for that later. You mentioned talking about like, oh, I want to track some drums for my friends. Like, you can send them that and they can run it through.
Yeah, they can do
whatever they want, you know.
It's the source is like, gives them the option of like, this is what it sounds like, and then they can do what they want with it, hopefully in a good way.
Totally.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that option of like a good recorded sound, whatever it is.
Yeah, and
being the drums is like, then you got something to work with instead of like, oh, I can't do this to the kick drum because then everything else is a bleed or this or that, or it's only, there's no options. You want to be able to have a nice headroom of option.
This is a recreation of your British kind of style.
Yeah, they look nevish.
So then you have American kind of stuff here, and then this is another version of a preamp that was based off of some old vintagey tape machine stuff. So,
yeah, it looks super cool.
Between all the different sounds, you have a lot to paint with here too. And as you bring in engineers, they'll know what they're looking at, and they'll come in and go, "Oh, wow, let's plug into this because this will be better for the guitar."
Right.
It's as easy just swapping out inputs.
Maybe we should get Andy and record a little guitar.
Well, so the challenge that we have for you here is you're gonna have to set up the mics for your guitar player. So we're gonna go through the process.
You guys ready for this?
Well, yeah, we're gonna start.
Right before you get him, let me
We gotta get some testing going.
watch my engineering skills. I'm gonna be in Mix Magazine next week. You just never know. It's like the environment, it's the source, the instrument, the guy playing it, obviously, the music, and you just sometimes get lucky, or sometimes you don't want the perfect or what, not perfect, but a modern sounding thing. Depends on the music.
Right.
And that dictates everything, really. Super dead. Andrew and I do stuff all the time, and I have this old Slingerland kit with, dead. It's super dead. It's like, it's just like, and if you don't play really hard, which we learned on another record, that you can crank it and they sound huge.
That's how you get the fatness and all that when you're playing.
And that's like one of our favorite drum sets. He uses it on almost all his stuff. So there's so many options. It's a big live rock sound when it's appropriate. But we'll have options, and we'll be able to get a different kit like that Ludwig one.
Exactly.
Tighten that, dampen that. We put rings on it and everything, and like it's really fun just to like experiment and have all those options. I made a record a long time ago called Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and there's a song on that record called Give It Away. And we moved the drums. We were recording in this bigger room, and we moved them into a very bright, I think it was called like the Solarium or something. It had some name, whatever. It was very bright, tile, like crazy. I was like, okay, they just wanted a different sound because it was like very straightforward. I don't think there's any toms. It was just kick and snare and hi-hat and crashes, and moved that in, set it up. Brendan O'Brien was the engineer at the time, and he literally put a 57 on the snare. I don't know what, one mic on the kick. And two overheads that looked like that, 4 feet away, and when I had room mics, they weren't even overhead. One here and one here.
Right.
And that's the sound of Give It Away.
The school of thought that I've been taught about overhead mic placement is to be equidistant from the snare drum. Based on the observation of your mic placement, it's okay to have different heights.
Yeah, well, so this I think this guy got saggy, but
This one was a little.
It was a little up.
Okay.
So we just got to cramp this down. But yeah, it was equidistant to the center of the snare, but they were different heights.
But they were different heights.
Right.
Yes, I noticed.
And I like that. And the reason why is because over here you're getting a little bit more of the tubs, like the toms, and over here you're getting a little bit more of this throw of the snare. There's nothing symmetrical about a drum kit.
This is awesome, you guys. This is really, really fantastic. You're giving us joy and love of music and sound and everything else that goes with all of that. We're going to make a lot of memories and a lot of great music here. forward to this. It's gonna be great.
Hug it out.
Thank you, Albert. My brother Brad works at Highlander Music Publishing, and he's like, I know the people. I know exactly the people. They're great, and they got great stuff, and they're super cool. And so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Well, most importantly, it's like all the gear and the studio and the musicians and the playing and all the great music that's going to be made in here. You got to have a bar. The bar is not ready quite yet, but it's coming. It's coming.